Welcome once again to Conscripted, episode 29. We rejoin the party shortly after the death of one of their fallen comrades. I was hoping that would buy me enough time to open up the calendar, but then my brain went, no, I can't find buttons. We will rejoin the party on the 27th of Larsis. So, can I get Sphinx back in frame?
No.
Sphinx is not the chair. Sphinx is not the hand. All right, come on. All right, and yeah, so the party, last I had heard, the party was planning to redirect down to Kazarum. Is that still the party's plan?
As far as I know.
It is the nearest place to where the where things occurred. Technically, you're relatively equidistant between there and the camp.
We're going to Kazarum if we thought we were going to try and get Arius back, right? Are we still interested in going to Kazarum if that's not the case?
We wouldn't know technically that that's not the case.
Correct.
So I think that should be our plan of action, because we would still be thinking like, oh, let's go see if he is at the blacksmith place and see if we can get him back.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay. So let's see how well you make it back.
We can get all healed up, Sphinx. Or like a lot of half dead, or mostly dead people.
Sounds like a good idea. I forgot to open my character sheet.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Nice.
Didn't get hit at all last battle.
I'm at 5 hit points.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, I think me and Sphinx are the only two that didn't get hit.
I don't think I got hit.
Oh, nice.
I need 49 hit points.
And I've already used my healing hexes, so...
Fun stuffers.
Yeah, and I need 60 hit points.
So just roll off a bunch of cure lights. Alright, so we got 12, 25, 36.
I need 2 levels back. Can you do that?
47. Alright, so that tops me off. Close enough. And then let's heal Zeke. 14, 23, 20, 36, 43.
How much does he need?
Keep going.
I think it was like
51. One more. Alright, there you go. 61.
All right. So, during your travel, when you're not, you can see like at the horizon Kazarum in the distance. And while you're doing that, Maldronicus, you notice like there's some rumbling that's happening around the area below the cart. Or in front of where the cart is about to kind of move into. It's about 200 feet out.
Okay. Is this similar to the tunneling we've seen before?
Give me a... Actually, you already gave that. It looks like it might be. It does seem kind of familiar.
I guess knowledge nature actually. Do I know if I feel like I've asked about this before, but I wasn't sure if I actually knew or not. Is this Are these burrowing creatures that seem to like know where we are when they come out on top of us? Is it like a movement-based thing, or is it just they can sense pressure anywhere?
It could be like they have some sort of like sense of where tremors are.
Okay, so if we're I guess I would tell Pierre to stop moving the cart.
Okay. He will like bring the cart to a halt. And as you do that, you'll notice like a little stinger and some claws kind of like jut out of the ground. And a very large scorpion will make its way up. Put you on the little roadie map here, actually. Oh, not the Iron Golem, that's for sure.
It's assembled back together.
Let's have you guys
Not again.
move to the cart and shrink you guys down. And
Steve, you're triggering me. I see Arius with negative HP and it's bringing back memories.
oh yeah, Arya should be dead.
Yeah,
Arius
much
is gone
better.
No,
Fixed it.
my boy.
All right, so just off the road here, the scorpion comes burrowing up. And it does happen to notice you there. How do you want to deal with this situation? The scorpion's kind of like frozen there for a moment, looking at the cart.
Can I try and look like intimidating? Does that work in scorpions?
No, not necessarily, but you are a pretty like sizable object to the scorpion.
Yeah, I don't even think I have any to scare it with. Do I have anything? No. Or can I like, I don't know, do like some... Hold on, I need to look. I don't remember what my cantrips are.
Okay, so Cassius fires off his gun. Are you aiming at it or are you aiming near it?
Near it.
Okay. As you shoot into the ground, the thing kind of like skitters a bit, and then burrows back down.
Okay. Yeah, that works. I was like, trying to see what noise making I had. I don't think I do. Okay.
And yeah, you guys can make it the rest of the way to Kazaram. Such a tough encounter, wasn't it?
Yikes.
All right.
I expect a lot of XP from that.
You'll get all the XP from that. By all of it, I mean however much I decide to give you. All right. Welcome back to Kazaram. Inside, the streets are bustling as usual. I don't have the city's soundtrack set up yet, unfortunately. But there are people moving about. There are carts moving in and out of the town. Things actually here seem a little busier than they usually are.
In terms of what?
In terms of like various people coming in, trading things, walking about the streets, talking, and you notice like an uptick in the number of like orcish and like other a variety of races instead of just the dwarves and the sparse human you would see now and then. You also see the occasional orc or like goblinoid or advanced goblinoid.
Are they wearing Crimson Council stuff?
They are wearing the colors of Crimson. Yes.
So everyone can feel free to do as they wish while we're in town. We'll probably have to report back to the military camp soon, but I would personally be interested. I'd go up and try and like get the attention of one of my orc brethren.
Mm-hmm.
And,
well met.
what happened? I thought we were moving away from here.
Things got worked out pretty well. I'm pretty happy with how things turned out.
What did we concede?
Oh, we conceded nothing. There was some kind of shift that happened here. All of a sudden we were talking to much different people. A few days after you left, some new people showed up at the camp and made us some new offers. We're not working with the figureheads anymore. We're working directly with some of the people who run things here. The humans seem to be very interested in keeping us around. The dwarves maybe not so much.
In my head, I'm thinking that I want to talk to the wizard. I'm not actually saying that, but I'm curious. Seems a weird coincidence. Well, I'm glad that we finally... Have they given housing to everyone here?
No, they're not housing any of us. We still have to travel to make trades, but it's been a good method of exchange. It's been much easier to get weapons and some other much more effective gear for some of the problems we've been facing. Have you heard about these shifters?
Yes. Have they been causing problems here?
Not to us, per se, and not really to Kazarim either. But there's a little goblin village to the north of here that's been regularly complaining about these shape-shifting creatures, and we were offering them some assistance where we could. We've been making some level of exchange with the folks from Kazarim here, and then moving the resources forward to this little village. They call themselves Mukmak.
Ah, that does sound familiar. That's good to hear from a mutual party. That's not the people that keep telling us things are going well and then they aren't.
I agree. The weird part, though, is humans, right? This is coming from humans that we're getting a more fair arrangement. Can you believe that? Humans.
I don't know, humans, they'll befriend you one day and then try and stab you in the back the next.
Let's hope that's not the case in this point.
Just like the weather.
Yes. You travel with quite a few of them, though.
One less.
I do, but they're better people than most of the humans, I mean.
Fair. Well, I've got to get back to acquiring things and getting back to camp.
Do the half-orc arm embrace.
Yep. Thank you so much for all you've done for us.
I say whatever the orc goodbye is. I
Okay.
don't know what it... Agak Akbar!
No, definitely not that.
Uh,
What do the rest of you want to do while you're here?
What time of day is it?
It's pretty late in the day, actually. There's not much longer left of the last sun.
I'm gonna look for an inn unless we know where they're.
You know
at,
the
right?
one where you guys get to stay. There's the one you
Okay.
get to stay up in the military suite.
Mm-hmm.
Is anybody else going to head to that inn?
Is
No,
there a temple or church or something along those lines?
There are a couple of different temples here. Not the usual ones, but this is home to one of the larger temples to Shishat.
Yeah, so I'd probably go there and do my regular prayers and stuff to Sashat, and specifically kind of just be mentally going over and talking to her and or myself basically through the prayers about all the issues that the party seems to have been counting with Lars, and basically the task that he sent us on that we failed, and just trying to hash out what to do about it all and how to help the our party member basically get what was taken from him and all of that.
Okay. You head over to the temple and start communing with your god, your goddess. And over the last few years of your life, you've been somewhat used to, like, a certain style of feeling when you're having a conversation with Sashat. Normally, a lot of prayer with Sashat is less about kind of like the prayer style of thing, but it's more about like opening up a book or a notebook and kind of reflecting on the things that have gone on, looking them over, trying to learn from your own actions or maybe the actions of other things that you've encountered, and kind of like sharing a quiet, reflective time.
Mhm.
But for some reason, like normally it feels kind of like that feeling you get when you're in like a cozy little room and you've got a book and you got a little light on and you've got like a nice warm cup of something to drink. In this case, it feels kind of like you're in a like small, cool shack where like the windows don't quite close right, and the lights kind of like flickering in and out, and like your drink's just chilly, and it's supposed to be warm. It's very kind of lonely and empty.
Yeah, I think I would like. Is there like anyone around that seems to like work here?
Oh yeah, there's lots
like-
of lots of clerics roaming about the temple. The temple also
So I-
happens to be the center of of business here in
Okay.
Kazarim. I'll actually take you to the map here. So the temple and the town hall are basically the same building here.
Yeah, so I'd probably go up to one of the cleric that seems like they're important or, you know, not like a lowly one, and just like say to him like your temple, it feels so lonely and devoid of the comfort my goddess usually offers. Do you know why that?
Lassie, you don't need comfort. This is about focusing on your learning. Keep your mind in your book. That's what Sashat would want most. Keep your mind sharp.
What do you think Sashat is trying to teach me here?
To be focused. It's what she's all about. Staying focused. Keeping your mind open and alert.
Okay, fair enough. Not what I'm normally used to when I enter communion with Sashat, but
Give me a
fair point.
Give me a sense
She
motive
does.
here, actually. Something doesn't feel right beyond just that. Like, he's not entirely telling you like an inaccurate version of Sashat, but Sashat is like still there to like comfort you as you kind of go over your information. Like she's always listening, and here you didn't feel that sense of something listening. You just kind of felt a sense of talking to the void.
Okay, I'd respond to him. I mean, yes, Sashat is about staying focused and learning, but do you not feel the lack of her here? It's almost as if she's not.
You orcs always needing something to hear. There's nothing you need to hear. What you hear should come from your heart and from your head. Your perspective is wrong.
Or maybe yours is.
My perspective is right. I've been following Sashat for many a year.
As have I, and she has always listened to me.
He strokes his egregiously long beard and looks at you. I've got quite a few on you, lass.
Maybe that's true, but maybe my level of worship has been deeper than yours.
I'll have none of that. And he, like, turns and storms off.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna end up leaving this temple. I don't feel like my god's listening to me here. I might try out one of the other temples, even if it's lesser well-known or lesser, like, big or whatever, just to see if I feel like I'm being listened to by my god there, or my goddess.
Okay, the only temple that you're going to directly find any other information of is a temple of Delamrian. So I'll come back to that in a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Spinks, what are you doing in the meantime?
I should probably at some point get to work on the next items for people. So I'll probably start work on that.
Okay, so you're going to go with Cassius to the inn then?
Yeah.
Okay. And Zeke, what are you doing?
Oh, we're supposed to find that blacksmith Inc. place, right? So I guess
Okay. So you can head over to Blacksmith Inc. Well, the two of them go off to the inn. So you can actually, it's not terribly difficult to find the Blacksmith Inc. location here. And as you step inside, a young man smiles up at you from the counter. His hair is slicked back. And he sits calmly as he kind of watches you walk in and seems as if he recognizes you the moment you step through the door. Oh, you're here about your friend, yes?
Yes.
I've got some bad-ish news for you. It really comes down to your choice, but your friend is not willing to return. Now, that doesn't mean that he can't rejoin your group, but we don't want to... We're not going to bring him back if it's not his will or the will of his team.
I mean, I agree. If he is not willing to return, I do not want to force him.
You don't feel that sometimes people don't know what's best for them?
I think that I will respect his opinion.
An honorable man you seem to be then. But I must inform you that the decision is up to your team. So you may want to consult the rest of them about this decision before you make any final judgments. Perhaps others might wish to have him back.
Yeah, I'll talk to my party leader.
Very good. Oh, and I'm just curious. How are things with your friend? He looks at you and his face, like, turns very solemn. Are they well? Or have you been having increasing difficulty?
I'm gonna try and sense motive, like see if this is like, like if I'm getting any sort of like, I don't know, like maliciousness or anything off of this dude.
Yep, go for it. No, doesn't seem to be malicious here. In fact, he kind of reaches down for a moment and he picks up a helmet and lays it on the counter. What if it could all go away? What if your friend couldn't find you anymore? This could end that. All your problems are gone.
Well, where did you get this information first?
We do a lot of work with your military. We provide them a lot of information and a lot of supplies that they might not otherwise have access to. The very tent that your Storm Lord resides in was manufactured using our talented skills. This helmet can block out a lot of things.
I am interested. This is stuff. This is definitely something I would want.
This helmet will not only block out connections to you, but connections to those around you while they are close. Stop you from being seen from a distance. Create a cloud of sorts to those who'd want to view you. But it's still a little in development. It has a couple of other functions that we're testing.
Do you have information on?
Some of the effects we're a little uncertain of. We've programmed a few spells into it to have a specific kind of clouding effect. And so we know it has some level of mind control resistant ability, but we're working on something that's going to focus a little more on the communities less serviced financially. This helmet will stop your mind from being impeded upon, but there is a bit of a trade to it, a bit of an emptiness that kind of replaces it when that happens, leaving you with more of your primal instincts and less of your surface thoughts.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't want to put my party at risk. I'd probably have to talk to them about this also.
Fair enough. Just be careful. Your boss seems a bit of a coward when it comes to our developments. And he'll probably talk very ill of us. But we have good things at heart. We've done a number of things to really make this country better. And your fearless leader doesn't seem to understand just what good we've done for the world.
There's a problem with the stream right now. It doesn't have a Fox News logo over your...
But yeah, I'll head back to the inn.
Okay. Alright, so Cassius and Spinks, when you arrive at the inn, there is a messenger waiting in front of your inn room for you.
He's just standing there waiting?
He's just standing there waiting. Oh, wait, I'm not supposed to ask.
Can we help you with
He
something?
steps out of the way of your door and looks at the lock and then back at you and then at the lock and then back at you.
Oh, I'm not going in if he's standing in front of the door.
He just waits there with his little messenger outfit holding on to a wrapped envelope or a sealed envelope. And he's got like where it's sealed facing towards his chest and it's kind of held closely to him.
Waiting on somebody?
Yes. I have a message that I need to deliver.
Yeah?
Yes.
From whom?
I'm not at liberty to say. The message is only for its intended recipient, and I am not at liberty to state whom the recipient is or whom the sender is.
I've met plenty of people.
It's obvious, Cassius. It's
I've
fine.
met plenty of people like you before.
It's fine. It's fine.
You're not there yet.
No.
You'll be there in a couple of minutes.
Can't tell who it's for. They have to reveal that who they are themselves, huh?
Well,
And then
they
you'll
don't
give it to
reveal who they are. they will reveal who they are with their actions.
That
is what I was instructed. And he looks back at the lock, and then looks back at you.
I'm just gonna kind of stare at him for a moment. I've seen this before. I've been here before. I'm not. Nah, they're not getting any more money out of me. So you're waiting for the person in this room?
I'm waiting here for an action to occur, and then I am to deliver this message to its intended recipient. I've been here for roughly a half an hour.
Huh. Interesting.
And he looks at the lock, and then looks back at you.
Oh, this isn't my room.
Well, I have to wait here, sir, until I deliver this message to its intended recipient. Or I die of starvation. And he kind of, he smiles at that for a moment, and then realizes, there's some actual seriousness to that. And then, he sort of looks down at the letter, and then back at the lock, and then back at you. And then it spinks for a moment, and then back at you.
I'm gonna look at Spinks and see what she wants to do.
Just look back at you.
By about this point, you can probably start to hear footsteps coming up the stairs.
They can't legally take your money unless you admit to being the person that they think you are.
Maldronicus arrives basically as you finish that statement. Mal, you see the scene, these two standing there, this messenger holding a letter to his chest with the seal facing towards him.
Hey, Mal, this guy's got a letter for the person that's in this room, and I'll kind of knock on the door. They can't tell us who it's for or who it's from, but their actions will reveal them.
He looks at the lock, and then looks at you, Mal.
Why are we involved in this?
You can't tell us.
I don't know if you're involved in it, sir. I'm just trying to deliver a letter upon a specific action. I've been waiting here for almost a half an hour, sir.
Cassius, he's a courier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They deliver stuff around town.
Yeah? I've seen a few couriers.
Yeah.
Very good.
Cassius, do you think the mailman's... Do you think the milkman is trying to poison us all?
Hey, you said you can't leave until you deliver this message, right?
Yes.
Or die of starvation, one of the two?
Yes.
Just leave the man to his job, Cassius.
That's alright. This your room?
I don't know.
He's in front of... He's, standing next to the door to the room you guys would go into. And he looks once more at the lock, and then looks up at you.
I open the door and go to the room.
Alright, so you
silently screaming, "Oh my God!"
You unlock the door, and he reaches out a hand and says, "Excuse me, sir, I have a letter for you."
I take the letter.
He hands you the letter, and nervously kind of extends a hand.
I drop him a couple... I'll give him a couple silver.
Okay. He looks down a little bit excitedly, pockets the money, and then darts down the stairs. You recognize the seal as the one that's been on every message from Heracles.
Yeah, I figured as much. I open it.
It says, when everyone has gathered, if you wish to speak to me, please write yes.
Yeah, I write yes. I said it. Actually,
Okay, you write yes. So,
this is in our room, right? This is like
no, this is your room.
Yeah. But this is our room. That's what I mean.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So Zeke, you are on your way back. And Ra, you are on your way to a temple. And the 5 of you are suddenly in Heracles' chamber.
Sweet.
Now, it's kind of a weird thing when you're just kind of picked up in the middle of, like, doing something to appear in somebody else's room. So, for a moment, like, Ra, you're probably kind of, like, thinking to yourself about what's going on, and you take a few steps and you suddenly realize, like, the ground is different. And then you realize the room is different. And Zeke, I assume you're just pissed off that yet again some wizard has used their magic on you, seemingly without your permission.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably be like really panicked for a second, but then I'd recognize Arachnis's place with all the books flying around and all that sort of thing that he likes.
Yep.
I would probably, if Ricotta looks weird, I don't know how like you're reacting to that or whatever, but I would just say relax.
Did you not tell them?
Where
Zeke seems a little bit frustrated, and she looks very confused. Were they not all together with you?
Zeke's always frustrated. You're a magic user.
I feel like something's wrong here. But never mind. Look, I know what's happened. I saw it. You were fools! You took a bum deal. I can't believe you were that stupid. But I should have expected it. You're so focused on your do-goodiness. Huh. I don't understand you people. But I have a solution. None of you went to talk to Blacksmith Inc. yet, have you?
Yes, I have.
Arius isn't coming back, right?
He has declined to come back, but like Blacksmith Think said they have some way to force him to come back.
Oh, thank the gods they haven't let him. He chose not to come back. They must have made him a pretty shit offer. You shouldn't take the offer as well, but it is up to you. But if they bring him back, he will be a shell of the man you knew. Now, I have a better offer for you, if you're willing to take it. Yes? No? Speak! Say something!
Be helpful to know what the offer is.
I want to know if you're interested in the offer first. That's how we do exchanges of information. You express interest, then I share.
Interested in finding out information about the offer? Sure.
Good.
I don't want to agree.
I can replace your Arius. Direct, one-to-one replacement, but better. You're missing an adequate spellcaster, yes? Arius was your top-tier spellcaster, and now you have nothing but a bunch of 2-bit casters.
Well, to be fair, we've always been missing an adequate spellcaster.
Yeah, I went through around top tier so loosely like that.
Nonsense! In a flick of my wrist, I could make you a pile of dust. Let's not talk about whether or not I'm well aware of what top tier is. I know that might offend you, but I have access to some of the greatest circles of magic. And what do you have? Access to the second sphere?
Oh, how I've missed our conversations.
Now, I can provide you with better. A man with access to not only third sphere spells, but access to more of them than any of you. Although I will say, that one over there, and he points at you, Spinks, she has potential. I wish she'd stop talking to herself, though. Very weird to watch somebody just start talking to themselves.
Not the
You
weirdest
could
thing
just
that we've done.
not watch people talking to themselves.
It's very important I keep an eye on people as important as you.
Hey, Mal, there's an awful lot of people that know exactly what we're doing at all times, aren't there?
No, there's not. There's really just me and maybe 2 other people from what I've been able to identify.
Okay, so just 3 people watching us at all times?
Well, one of them not at all times.
Oh.
There's somebody who, whenever you get to around Kminster and Lukil, there's a lot of this. I can't put exactly what the spell is, but it's very similar to a clairvoyant spell, but much different.
Around nighttime?
Usually early evening, yeah.
Huh.
And what do you know about this person?
Nothing. I can't break the protections his spell has. I've tried to peer through his clairvoyance a number of times. I've thought about going there a few times just to see if I could look up at him. But I don't want to take that risk. I don't know how strong he might be if he has this specialty spell I can't peer through.
You talking about the man in the high castle?
And
What? What is a high castle?
The floating castle.
No. There is no man left in the floating castle. You know that, right? Just the spirit that roams the halls.
Oh, I knew there was that and maybe some kind of creature. Maybe.
Perhaps.
Is that what...
I only know of the spirit that haunts the halls.
Didn't I see something or hear about something about like something crawling around the outside of it or something like that?
Possibly. Your memory is your memory.
Alright. I know about the spirit at least.
I know nothing about it. I haven't looked there though. That place has a number of protective barriers and things around it that prohibit my ability to kind of peer more directly at it. The only reason I know of the spirit is from tales long ago. The talk of the woman that married the king.
Yep.
And her ill fate that cursed her there.
Met that king. Not a nice guy.
You met the king? Or did you meet the husband? Oh. Well, or the son. See, it's a bit confusing. The son wanted to be the king, but the king was going to be the son. But the wife wanted to keep the son and herself. And so she arranged certain things, but she was the wife to the king, not the wife to the son.
Met a mummy. Tried to kill me.
Ah, yes, then you would have met the son. Sad boy. Completely narcissistic. Just like his father. Less so, but nothing can be as narcissistic as his father.
Take your word for it.
Anyway, we're off topic, god damn it! Now, about replacing Arius. Your party's already quite large, but you need a good spellcaster.
I'm gonna look at all of our spellcasters in our group.
No, goddammit! That one is like partial spells, as he points to Ra. That one is partial spells, as he points to Mal. And that one cannot cast any sort of real, substantial, third-level arcanography.
What, like things that make you feel like you're less dead inside?
Things that make you feel more alive inside. Have you ever felt the coursing power of a lightning bolt flowing from your fingertips?
I can't say that I have, but I've definitely felt...
You poor man.
I'm feeling a lot weaker than I used to. And I don't even know if you have that kind of spellcasting ability.
Oh, is that what that smell is?
A little bit of death.
Did you? Yeah. Oh.
Is that a Can you smell that, or is that a magic thing?
I've got a bit of a nose. Now, about this replacement. One spellcaster for another? Yes? Do we have a deal?
Well, that's vague information at best.
Could you prove to us that he is useful enough?
I cannot believe you would ask me that question! I have to prove to you that something I am offering to you is useful? What do I look like? Some sort of second-level cleric, whatever that means?
What does that mean?
I don't really know what I'm saying here. I've been reading these weird books by some savant or something.
Ah. Yeah, he has a lot of weird books.
This one was called the Handbook of the Players.
Is he one of the people that's spying on us, too?
I'm not familiar with this person. I happened upon his book in the library the other day.
A shot?
Yes.
Yep.
It was a very...
Cantor.
That sounds right. Camper, canter, decanter, something along those lines. Cantor savant. Names aren't important. What's important is the details. He talks about levels, and from what it sounds like, I am very high level, and you are all very low level. I like that terminology. It's good stuff to get behind. It really tells me how people are. You're low level, I am high level.
I feel in much lower level than I used to. Do you have any way to fix that?
No, if what I've read in this book is correct, you're pretty screwed. Unless a god changes his mind.
Ah, so what you're saying is that you're not that...
No!
yet.
I know what you're trying to do here!
Is it that obvious?
I have limitless power.
Itty bitty living space.
I don't
But you're
get your
killing
reference. Now, do we have a deal?
Well, you want us to give an unspecified spellcaster for another unspecified spellcaster.
Well, I'm not taking your old spellcaster, to be clear. I am replacing what you've lost.
We've had a lot of people offer us a lot of real vague things lately, and I think I'm going to need a little bit more specific information.
Okay, fine. You want specifics? Here we go. I want to easier spy on all of you, and it's very difficult to do it when I have to constantly locate where you are first and then look upon you. It's best if I have somebody with you that I can constantly find whenever I want to see how all of you are doing. It sucks having to... Have you ever had to look at a big map and then identify where the smaller map you're looking at is based on the big map? It's really fucking annoying. What would be really good is if I had somebody that was there that I could just look at, and then all of a sudden, bam, I see the rest of you with it. That's what I want to do.
I will say that I've always appreciated your honesty.
Thank you. And that's why I'm giving him to you, if you want his help. I assure you he's more valuable than your current spellcasters, at least in terms of the efficacy of his spells.
What about Arius? What does he have to do with this?
You would not pick up Arius. You would
Is he
disagree.
the one that we're giving?
You're not giving, you're giving up Arius.
Just checking because of your terminology.
Arius seemed to wanted to go, from what I've heard.
Good. Then it's settled? Yes.
Are you doing it
I do
against his will?
I do have some questions, some stipulations.
He's already agreed.
Has he?
Yes. Yes, he has.
You
He
know that
just
thing I
doesn't
said
know
about
it
your-
yet.
You know that thing I said about your honesty?
I'm saying it exactly as it is. He has agreed, he just doesn't know it yet. I know what his answer is going to be. This is not our first time doing this.
I have some minor questions, if I may.
Yes.
The last time we had a high magic user in the party, they turn into dragons and shit. And almost
This one's not going to turn into dragons. Never going to be a problem. Well, he could go in a direction that leads him to change into dragons, but I don't think he's going to do that as much. Doesn't seem his style.
And he doesn't have any, like, desires to build a horde that'll subtract from the party fund.
No, maybe not horde building, but he is quite excessively interested in spells.
Is he high level?
My book says no.
Oh.
He's about your level, if I estimated properly.
Your collectively or your me?
Your collectively.
Okay. I'm not feeling much like myself lately. Well, whatever that is.
I'd say you should find him a pretty balanced fit.
Well, if he brings new resources to this group, his visions align with those of the party. I see no reason to keep our numbers lower.
Excellent. It's settled then. And he snaps, and the 6 of you appear in the inn. Ravos. Describe yourself.
Aravos. He's an elf, clearly. He's 6'4", 150 pounds. He's got silver hair,
Oh my
light
god, you're
blue
a twig.
eyes. Yeah, he's very skinny,
I think
very
it's
tall.
pronounced twink.
And yeah, he's wearing like very wizardly like robes, and he's not carrying any weapons or anything. He's got some like spell component pouches. Clearly, you can tell. And yeah, he's got a bunch of scroll cases that are visible sticking out of his bag and stuff like that.
I'm gonna look around for a minute and be like, God damn it, could I be at the flippin' temple I was trying to get?
I have my book out. And how did you spell your name?
When you appear, by the way, seconds before that, Aravos, you have like a very brief moment of conversation with Heracles. He says, I got your new mission. Here's what you're going to do. Go with this team, and eventually I will reward you for it. Got it? We're good? Yes? Excellent. You're there already.
Always to the point, my master. So yeah, I guess I just like appear with everyone. I'll just like kind of look around, and then I'll do like a little bow and say, Aravos, at your service.
Spelling?
You wish me to spell my name?
Yeah.
For what purpose? Can I sense motive him? Because this is very odd.
Yes, you may. Nah, not sure. It is a weird line of question, though. I love getting to play Heracles.
In return.
Well, sweet, I'm not the newest person anymore.
All it took was a death.
Yep. No longer the most suspicious person either.
Calculated.
Oh, sweet. Sweet, I think that makes me and Sphinx the senior most party members.
It does, in
I'm
fact.
still the tiniest person, though.
Got it.
Well, this is all a little bit awkward. What is the game plan, I guess?
I'd like to go back to the damn temple I was looking for.
Yeah, he does that. He's impatient. If we wait to gather, he gets mad that we took so long. If we don't wait to gather, then he's mad that we didn't. Literally every single time he's gotten mad at us about something. So at this point, I just take it as is.
Fair enough. It was a little disorienting, but it's all good.
I may ask, what temple are you going to?
Well, I went to the Sashat temple and it was very weird and awkward. I could not feel my god listening to me. The only other one I knew about was a temple to Delandrian, so that's where I was headed next.
Delandrian.
Isn't that one of them death gods? Yeah.
I mean, all gods are important in their own way, and you can commune at any temple. I believe it's usually respectful to
Except
give
for
a
Lars. No, don't do that.
I mean, Lars has been unfortunately kind of a pain lately, but all gods have their purpose and should be respected, even if they are not Sasha.
I was
Shisha.
I was told recently that perhaps the reason that Anhur can't speak to me is that I haven't fully opened myself and embraced her teachings. Still using her? No. I don't know that if you realize that makes me crazy or not, but I was told that perhaps you could help me. Can I join you at this temple?
You are more than welcome to join me.
Is this communing thing you do? Is it something that could be taught?
I feel like communing for most people is something you have to personally learn what works for you, but it is sort of a trial and error method. You can come, you can watch, you can see other people's ways of trying to speak with their gods, and you'll eventually find what works for you.
Well, I'm not torturing myself and locking myself in a dark dungeon to
I wouldn't do that either.
have her speak to me again, so I'll have to find a different effective means. But perhaps this temple will be a good start. Erebos,
Arvos.
Erebos, sorry. You are welcome.
Gotta get more
Do as
dwarven
you
on the
wish.
A.
We pretty much are a fairly loose party. Just if you're planning to break the law or hurt any civilians, please consult before doing so.
No such
I love
thing.
how it's not even a request not to do it. It's just please consult us before you do so.
Yeah, I like how that's also become a rule because of previous.
Yeah, I have to now state these things because you wouldn't normally think it's something that needs to be stated, but
Cassius doesn't know what you're talking about.
then
Don't be
you're
silly.
already on better behavior than some people.
Well, while you guys waste your time at the temples, I was hoping this old spellcaster that I'm replacing, you don't happen to have any of his notes or anything. I heard he was looking into spell research.
Zeke might have notes on him.
Why would Zeke have notes on him?
So
Do
our
you not trust this man?
do you have a house in town? Like, do you live in town here?
I interned with Theraculus.
You are staying in you do have a small like room that you stay in one of the larger the larger housing complexes.
I have a small apartment to myself. Why do you ask? You seem to want to know a lot about me, Zeke. Was there a specific reason?
No.
Okay. So is that a no on the spell notes? He didn't leave anything with you?
Which town was this?
This is Kazarum. Should be on your screen right now. If you can
Yeah,
see.
the one you kept getting mind control that.
No, that's Comminster.
Oh, that's Comminster. Yeah, you're right.
Comminster is where he's gotten the most fails on mind control.
Yeah, I just have the one screen, so I gotta.
Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I actually wasn't conscious, so I actually don't even know if Mal knows what happened to his notes. I think it all teleported away out of character, right?
It did.
All of
Yeah.
his, I'll tell you, all of his possessions seemed to disappear when his body disappeared. It was quite weird. I still don't quite understand what happened there, but they seem to get it, so I guess
His,
so.
It was
his whole
when we
body
threw the
disappeared?
when we threw the necklace on him, the blacksmithing necklace.
Oh, Blacksmith Inc.
Yeah, I think he did it once before, so I assume that's what it was. Hence why we're here.
Yes, they make crude magical items not yet ready for people to use, but their experiments are quite interesting.
That's a way of putting it.
He was quite the fool to use one so recklessly.
So Arvos, what sort of skills are you able to add to the party here?
I'm not sure what my mentor told you, but I'm quite the conjurer of spells. I can do a lot of control-like abilities in battle.
Just in battle?
Well, I prefer not to use my talents for mundane tasks, but yes, if you ruffians get in trouble, I guess I can help out with these sort of things. I'm not one to deal a lot of damage directly. It's a lot more savage and crude than I prefer.
And what do you mean by control exactly while in battle?
Oh, well, I mean, there's a lot of things I can do. I can stop movement, constrict where things can move, can create decoys, I can give you all more boost in your strengths. Stuff like that.
Right now,
Interesting.
Is it normal for him to take notes on everyone, or
Some
do I just
people.
have- Some people. Interesting.
So he was a super skinny elf, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
What was the clothing? Did you
Just like just like normal wizard robes, nothing like fancy. Just like
Zeke's also going to need your social security number. Last 4 digits of your credit card.
And did Araclis tell you what level you are?
I don't know what that means.
Neither do I.
He likes to read a lot of weird things.
Do you
But
worship
he is powerful.
any gods, Arvos?
Is this 20 questions with me right now? Or? I'm not very into the gods. I prefer to get strength from ourselves. I think the gods have given us our own strengths, and we must get them from ourselves instead of from them.
I roll my eyes at you.
I also, if you have the funds for it, can supply you with scrolls of some spells I know, if you so require it. But
Yeah, I would like a list of those.
a wizard doesn't give up his spells so easily. But if you ask about it, I can try and get it for you.
Yeah, I might be interested in purchasing a scroll or two.
Sure. Let me know which ones you had in mind, and I'll let you know if I can get them for you.
Alright, let me just pull up this list of all mind influence and go through them.
Wasn't there anything more important we had to be getting to? This is for... Reckless was letting me know some of your adventures, and it sounded like there were more urgent things that had in need right now.
Yeah, that's right. The spy has to get his information back to his master, right?
It's not spying. For one, he told you he was doing it. It's more keeping tabs. And yes, clearly the military needed someone on the outside because you guys were not doing so well. That's a good thing to bring up. I'm not part of the military, so of course I will follow your guidance and orders, but do not presume me to be acquisitive to your set of rules.
What are your motivations then?
I'm merely tutoring under Reckless, and he has sent me this task, so that is my motivation for now. Of course, I don't deem you any of you ill will, of course, but I'm not your best friend either.
Well, I mean, you realize how risky traveling with us is. I mean, there's a very real chance of losing your life.
I'm aware. It is the nature of the business. I'm mostly after gaining more knowledge of higher level spells. And by level, I mean strength.
Can understand you. I am apt to trust those that I do not know as well. To understand that what we face out there is oftentimes very, very deadly.
Yes.
But while we escaped very narrowly, and parts that reason for escaping was because we stood together, we watched each other's backs. You don't have to like me, you don't have to like my party, but I do need to know that if it comes to it, you will watch our backs as we would watch yours.
Erebos will like bow slightly and say, "Of course, like I said, I'm at your service."
Very well. And we have an accord.
All right, let's go ahead and take a short break, and you guys can all rest up. And we'll see what you guys want to do the next day.
Oh, thank God, I've had to pee.